I have very mixed feelings about this show. On one hand, I like the art style despite it not being the best. I'm probably one of the only people who actually enjoys the look of this show, even though I think this lack of shading and the lack of original or, that very different character designs also kind of ruins it. Not saying that the character designs are bad, it's just they don't look that different from each other. But the thing about this show is I feel like it has things that I actually like about it, such as the Superior Spider-Man arc from season 2. But then when you don't look at that and you just look at the show overall, there's so many things I feel like they just butchered or they didn't get as right as they could have gotten it. Specifically when it comes to Peter his characterization, Peter his sidecast, also the dialogue, for example. I don't think all dialogue or everything Peter says is bad in the show, but so many times when he opens his mouth, when he's joking around, when he's doing his quips like Spider-Man normally does, he just sounds like a dork and he sounds lame and so uninteresting. This show adapts a lot of stories from the modern Spider-Man comics, specifically during the, I think, post Brand New Day era or the Dan Slott era of Spider-Man comics, such as like we have Superior Spider-Man arc, which was honestly, in my opinion, the best the show has ever been in terms of character writing and just overall. We have the Goblin War, we have Spider Island and Horizon Labs, except it's in this show Horizon High. Pretty much the Dan Slott era of Spider-Man comics, which is why I like the Superior Spider-Man story. It was a highlight of the show. And season 2 is definitely my favorite season. While the writing of this show isn't the best, there's times where I personally feel like it's really good, especially in season 2. One of the main things I genuinely hate about this show is how much of a dork Spider-Man is, or Peter rather. It's so bad that he doesn't even call brain freeze like any normal person does. He calls it some type of scientifical whatever it's called. And I don't like that. And the dialogue as well, it just sounds so corny and bad sometimes. Like he's Spider-Man, but none of his quips, literally none of them, land, except I think for a couple.
I need your help to decode Groot's language so he can tell us what was on the tape.
Oh, I can't. I have a date later.
A date? You? Pfft, kidding. I'm never doing anything.
Just look at me!
Oh, do I have to? Combining symbiotes and jackal serum? Let you look at Venom and think, yeah, I could do uglier.
Another thing I despise about this show is the amount of spider folk we get. Safe to say I'm not a fan of the fact that they introduced Miles literally in season 1, episode 10. The 10th episode. Mind you, Peter has only probably been Spider-Man for like a few months at most, maybe at max a year. And then they already introduced Miles in the 10th episode, and I don't understand why they would do that. And it's like after Miles, we get Spider-Gwen, and then Spider Island happens, and then Anya gets powers, and then we get Spider-Girl again. And like, it's this big Spider-Man and his amazing friends type stuff, where all his side characters are already not very interesting. They all go to the same school. All of them are kid geniuses. They all have spider powers, except Miles has somewhat different spider powers compared to the rest of the gang, and they're all equally as unfunny. And I don't understand why they couldn't just make the show about Peter Parker focusing on being Spider-Man. It's Peter Parker in his teenage years. I don't think we should have a teenage Peter Parker already talking to Spider-Gwen Stacy and then talking to this and with Anya and then talking to Miles as well. It's like so many spider characters. Then you also get Harry in the mix with all the drama that's going on with his family and his home life with Norman Osborn and him becoming Hobgoblin. It's so much that I feel like didn't have to be there. They could have just focused on telling the story of Spider-Man. They could have focused on Superior Spider-Man. They could have focused on literally any other Spider-Man story from the past or from comics or from in general. Besides adding so many spider people, it clutters the show. And when you have so many spider people who all have so many similarities, except Miles, who has like I think just Venom and his camouflaging ability, it makes all the characters less unique, especially Peter. because it's like, why is he even still Spider-Man? What's the point if there's like 3 other people just like him? And especially when the only thing he has is like, I think 2, 3, maybe 4 months more experience than them, because they all get powers within like 2 years, and they all become Spider people within like 2 years together. And it's like, it's not like I'm against teamwork or having multiple Spider people. I like that, but not in the span of 2 seasons. It's too fast. Also, the villains in this show are not that interesting. We have Vulture, who I think he was pretty good. Rhino sucks. The Sinister Six sucks. The only villain I feel like genuinely, again, best season of the entire show was season 2, was Otto. Because they adapted the Superior Spider-Man arc, I feel like we got to see Otto grow as a character. And when he died, spoiler warning I guess, but when he passed away and he sacrificed himself pretty much, it was actually really good because we got to see Otto grow. We got a little bit more on his backstory. And it's like, when I see stuff like this, I'm like, why couldn't the show just have focused all the attention or everything? Why couldn't it just be like this? One thing I feel like this show does or did great is I like the MJ in this show. I feel like she was actually really fun, even for the short time she appeared. It's like, I don't know, she appeared at like season 3, and I feel like they should have just had her the entire show. I like MJ. She's much more interesting than some of the other characters. And this is one of the only shows or Spider-Man adaptations where at the end of the show, Peter and MJ actually end up together and happy. Another thing about this show is I think the animation is not as bad as most people think it is. I think it's just the bland art style and the lack of shading that people discredit the animation, which honestly, the animation is actually pretty alright. I just feel like it needs shading, and it just needs shading, honestly. Other than that, the animation is alright, but the side characters suck, and there's so many bad parts about this show, which is why it's hard to love this show when people criticize it. I can't really defend this show that much because a lot of criticisms are true. This show genuinely is bland and unoriginal in some parts. And it's not like the voice acting or the voice cast sucks. I like Robbie Daymond as Spider-Man despite how most people might feel about him. I feel like most people either like his Spider-Man voice or hate it, and I think he can play a good Spider-Man. It's just the lines he's given and the way how they portrayed his Spider-Man, the way they characterized him, it kind of just makes him a dork. He's so annoying whenever he speaks or whenever he jokes around. It's not fun. Like, for example, Josh Keaton or Yuri Lowenthal, their Spider-Man voices are fun to hear. You hear their Spider-Man voice and you're like, it's them. But with Robbie Daymond, he sounds extremely annoying. The comparison I made, like, it's fine to have a dorky or teenage, dorky Spider-Man, but if you're gonna have that, you need to make him charming, and that's why I feel like Sean Marquette has in Ultimate Spider-Man, whereas Robbie Daymond, his Spider-Man just sounds dorky with zero charm. I have no doubt in my mind that Robbie Daymond can pull off a good Spider-Man. I'm positive he can. But yeah, that's kind of what I just wanted to talk about this show. If you want my overall rating on this show, I would say it's definitely a 5 out of 10 show. It's just more mediocrity if you're honestly thinking about it. I would recommend, if you want to watch something Spider-Man related, you can watch it. Season 2, like I said, is the best season of the entire show. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and peace. Also, Happy New Year, and I hope you guys have a fantastic start to the new year off. Goodbye.